Three, two, one. Okay, so this is a revised, midweek revise um, on RTY and YM. No grade so far this week. I'm going to go into detail on why that is. Let's go into Monday. So, going into Monday, we see that both YM and RTY have taken this high out. But I know that on YM there is S&T this high. But unless we take this high out, so we can expect external to internal range universal model. As yesterday has the created C2 reversal, and money is opening up within that GXT continuous sequence, pretty much. Shit, oops. Um, so we can kind of gauge strength if we're going to trade bearishly. I want to trade the weaker asset, and you see that clearly YN is, or RTY is the weaker asset. That's why I yesterday closed. So there's no gap. There's on YM. So the only thing I can really target is this low here. But if tomorrow's going to make C3 continuation, then price should do what? It should respect EQ, the pretty range. But we jog down to B if we're winner to find a validation will work for the tomorrow, blah blah blah. So we can see today is opening up close near the severe. So ideally, instead of today respecting respecting the T spot, right? Here, ideally we retrace up into the Cibi and not reach EQ to create that small wick, right? And show a swing point away from this level to define the high day to make internal to external ritual. And I like how we are retracing technically right, away from this little swing. It's very fun. So that stores the narrative. So today was very clean. The bias was very clean. Indeed. Let's go into 2 a.m. Here we go. So 2 a.m. again continues the retracement up into the pre-arranged to the Cibi here to the refined invalidation level of pre-arranged. And since London fell to manipulate away from this key level, ideally 6 a.m. does. If we look at YM, you'll see YM has retraced even further up into the Cibi. We're like already above concept portion of it, while RTY is still below it. So I think that just shows that RTY is clearly the weaker asset. Also look at targets, bull market price, RTY is it's closer and it's way clearer. So RTY is definitely an asset that you would want to trade today. But nevertheless, so ideally 6 a.m. reverses off of pre-2 a.m. candle high, and it does perfectly, like literally perfect, and I'm tending to these, right? So the D leads towards expansion, force expansion, or 6 a.m. manipulation, tending continuation, for the whole. You have asked for a better day than this. Very clean. There's no SMT though. I don't need that. So, and then, but let's go into 6 a.m. Let's see what we did per driver. There was a very clean entry on R2I, like fucking insane. Which did very good. The reason why I didn't trade today was because I wasn't cycling through the assets, the markets. And I think just based off the day, I learned a lot. I got fucked him, honestly. I usually don't like to change up my model at all, or how I do things, because obviously that isn't logical or smart, but when it's logical to do so, it's wise to. Like today, like I wasn't cycling through the markets. I was only looking at one asset, running one trade idea, which is very fucking noob-like. But reason why I was doing that though is because I wasn't wanting to overcomplicate everything, and I wasn't wanting to like that's mainly because I wasn't trying to look for S&T. I started to focus on looking for S&T or strengths with I guess determining what asset is the leading asset or light asset by looking at the daily 4 hour, but then like anything below that I didn't care about. I don't know why I was being lazy, I guess. I should have been cycling the assets. But now today, after what happened, I changed my how I do things a little bit. I don't look at ES and Q anymore, really. I mainly just focus on NQ or YM and R2Y. Keeping it simple. And then not only did I change that, but I also changed how I enter during the driver, which is I definitely needed to do that because I have been overcomplicating my entries during the driver like crazy lately. So, but nevertheless, see what we did prior to the driver. Everything aligns right. We know the daily sports expansion version, for our sports expansion version, away from the skill level towards the target level. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what we do what we did prior to the driver. So prior to 9:30. Right, we have yet to create the body of the fire kennel as well. Very clean. Also, we're still in the perfection of the daily kennel. This is when you can get that one-sided expansion. Where we open up. This is the like save on the fire. So it's a relative amount of 1 hour within a minute. So we reached that key level that we can be off of, which makes sense why price reached all the way up to here. This is the 2MI or 2 product high, so it makes sense why we made a new high to take this. Definitely was logical. So I think there's no SMT with that. Down here. There's no SMT. But look how much further higher we were above this high versus R2Y. It was so much further above it on YM. And then notice how 9EM created that C2, yes. But look at the body on R2Y and R2Y. Made the ideal C2 because it created the CSD on 1 hour or 30 minutes. I mean, projecting the high away from the key 1 hour level. Very clean. Fucking like the best fucking case scenario. Like this is insane. Prior to the driver. So I mean, like you can ask for a better day. I'm so mad at this, but like this is a day that you would make like. That's why I can't wait for the future because this is the next one. So like instead of shooting for a 2 hour, this is a day that you can use to shoot for like a 4 hour. Fucking like it's very clean, but I would still only shoot for a 2 or a 3. But simply you can just market execute, or I would have market executed, or yeah, on the 30 minute. I would have just put place a limit order right here, and then boom, right away, literally within let's see, 36, so 36, 9, 12, 15, 18 minutes. I would have reached our peak perfect. I would have made like $5. But and then you see I didn't trade Tenium even though Tenium was definitely valid to trade. Yeah, I literally right after going to the Tenium, before Tenium even opened, it was like 9:45, 9:50. I seen this, I was like, fuck, I was on that. I was like, okay, I can still trade during Tenium. But then, right, Tenium is opening up, so we would do 4 hour here. So very good as well for Tenium continuation. But so we offered an entry both during the driver. I don't know if Tenium gave an entry, I think it did. So, but so the daily sports expansion virtually. The open here. Dailies for the expansion. Some people would think that's too large of a work, but it's not like a full-on reversal. Like if it price for reached EQ, or like not EQ, but like way above EQ, like Lion was definitely not triggable. It was too large of a work. But R2Y, we only reached the T spot. Like it's still valid. It's not like insanely large. I know that we can definitely reach beyond current low to reach this for that. Once we reach the skill level though, that's when we're gonna like that. It was like unless the PA was asked, then I probably would have traded. Obviously I wouldn't have traded. But I don't really care about the book size here. But going into Tenium though, the at least for the expansion version, the forest for the expansion version, so Tenium's continuation. That's perfect. I'll drop down to the 1 hour per minute. We're finding the validation level and seeing the sequences. We can see that Tenium's opening up with an AGX continuation sequence, but the fact that we've expanded greatly reached current low pretty much. right above it. Like we're so deep in the range, we were expecting greatly price and I pretty much am chasing price at this point. And let's see. So you have the juice continuation sequence, right? You can say EQ this range is you refine it audition a little bit. But once the price even reach up for you create that expand again all the way from the So realistically you would just take it off of you would wait for a price to create a continuation tree on like the 5 minute. And like you'll see here YM is actually showing strength switching in a way to catch up to R2Y since we're pretty far above these lows while R2Y is pretty much almost below. You see that at 957 or for we retraced up into the city in the 3 minute. Wow. YM didn't. So we're showing more weakness on YM. But I still like the entry on R2Y. So this is a valid continuation tree that Titanium is opening up with them. Right. So this would have been the entry. But which price if you did take that, if I did take that then not even that right there. Boom, boom. Look at that. The R is fucking shit. I never have a take profit above beyond the take profit or beyond the draw liquidity. Just like asking to have price almost reach your take profit and then come back and take you out. It's stupid. Kind of happens way too many times. But then you see price almost take you out, and then it would have been scary, but it doesn't matter. But we did expand beyond the draw liquidity though. It would have reached the take profit, but still, it's not how I trade. It's not quite at this point. The driver was definitely a trade with the driver. Very good. On the 3 minute or 5 minute, it was not an entry. The driver went up, never gave an entry. On the 3 minute or 5 minute, but the 3 minute, 30 minute entry was clean. Which I have a rule now where if the driver continuation, meaning we put in the whistle prior to the driver, then I have to enter on the 30 minute or whatever. So there has to be a CSD that the driver is not going to do that. And this would have been the case today. If say we didn't say 9 a.m. Made a bullish candle here, it's consolidating whatever, then we're within that key level on the whatever, then I have to see the driver reverse. Right, then it has to reverse away from the key level. If we're not going to, it is going to create too much for work because it's for extension at that point. Actually, at that point, I would have to confirm the narrative with a 3 or 5 minutes KC away from the key level. Right, but I'm actually kind of curious on how YM traded. Just a minute. Let me go to the 9 a.m. open up. 30. Look at that expansion. Very weak. Create that CST row. So now the higher day has been protected. Daily does for expansion bear shake. Okay, that's right. Almost not. I don't even care about what Tiny did, but let's check out. Fuck it. So Tiny's open up with MJC to do which sequence. So Dewey Tinium respects Cubit Ring. Or just make the expensive way. See about why is it? Yeah. Tinium opened up here. Wait, I guess I wasn't looking at. The driver opened up though on YM. And YM actually gave it entry during the driver on the 3 minute 5 minute, but that is fine. Tinium opened up. This is what I have been. This is way weaker looking on YM. The order block here is way because like it's just shit. So I would have to wait for a continuous entry. It's just too small. And that's what I would the entry here. I would wait for like a retrace. So I retrace. myself the highlight would look. Add to over here. Drop it to here. This is the major liquidity for one. So that you might take profits beyond the draw liquidity, so I have to move that up. Like, stop is never mentioned, but stop. I gotta move this up to here. That'd be not true. Right. Would have barely missed my entry. I would have expanded lower, which would be probably damn. Yeah, that would have been very, very annoying, but nevertheless, that would have been true. Doesn't matter though, I'm not trading it. Because of the size. Alright, so going into tomorrow, or today, I mean. Today was, not clean, the device wasn't clean. Simple as that. Right. So, so we are kind of like falling to expand away from the C2 after reaching the C level. So what level we could hold, we definitely haven't. We could also make SMT with pre-level. That is why R2I fell too close with the row signal. Well, YM did. That's why YM shouldn't take pre-level, ideally. But even if we did, yeah. See, I wouldn't want it to, because it would just create too large of a whip. Ideally, it doesn't. But you'll see that price did. But it was actually very fucking clean on R2I. It was clean at first. So going into the day, right? Like I said, the only thing we can really target is this roll. So, which this low is way down here for a while. So, think about it. If price heads below this low here, and R2 and Y doesn't, this is advanced for premium to discount rate. We have S&T at the range low. Fall in a premium online. So, the RTY is obviously low range. So, the problem with this day is, I mean, the low size is just too large. And it's not only because like, I can trade a day that has a large wick in continuation on the daily we sell the target level and it's clean. But like when we're creating the reversal like this, we have a large wick, it's just a full on this day and it's just not you're confirming too much. It's just you're doing too much. Or like it's lower probability. So um but obviously you would want to see TC just be ideally with this. But going into 2 AM, which is very perfect, it's just simple. So today open up here though, let's look at my hard. So we open up, we reach this rhythm up. Now we're kind of like inside barn, kind of consolidating. But we have SMT with range here online. So going on the 100 B waypoint, show this. Yeah, so we took this low out here. Then we made a higher low on R2I, strike switching, while Y made a low. So R2I was showing weakness at first, now strength to catch up to YM. That's YM is, like I said, in a premium of this range, while R2I is below the range. Assets must be correlated assets must be correlation to expand. So let's go on the tournament. So A30M news reached this relevant swing here. I was like, okay, that's not good. A30 if A30 manipulates, not that it should continue. But the daily narrative doesn't support that. Although at this point, put this in here. The book size, both bearishly and bullishly, is like not. It's too large. Bearishly, it's actually fine. It's like we can definitely continue the expansion bearishly. That's the problem. I knew going into today, which I'll actually show you before, but like 8:30 news manipulated. The line is found to continue the expansion after reaching the elevation. It looks like 9 was creating a reversal prior to the river. Yeah, so my new rule with if 9:30 makes the reversal prior to the river, right after river continuation, then I have to do my new channel with the CC, but we weren't doing that, so I was gonna wait till 10 a.m. But um, I said that right away showing string switching to SMT and price deliveries. Sadly, I can't trade today because of the work size. So I said here, what was it? At 9 a.m. Yeah, we know I was later. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so, but I knew that. Let's go back. We could definitely continue the distribution over. Like this could be this. Like if you think about it, the day opened up, the daily candle formation is not ideal. But today, if it's gonna be there, then ideally we might put this probably something close to the big candle open, especially during the drivers here. As the data is first expansion bearishly, but it does its first expansion bullishly. So it's like the only thing we really can't do is combine bearishly. Ideal scenario would be for a continuation lower, but before it does its first expansion bearishly. There's 6 But so, but it does spark expansion bullishly. So it's just by the book size on the daily, I can't trade this bullshit. Bearishly I could, but I didn't like bearishness because of the targets. I just didn't care by this level. Like I hated it. It just wasn't clean. But going into 9 a.m. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So we were manipulating away from this imbalance here fairly down to expand away from the C2, which is what I wanted. Perfect. But I wanted to see 9 a.m. close above the CSD. Because if we're going to quit the reversal part of it over, like I said, ideally we have that entry on the ladder there with the CSC. And if we did this, I would have definitely taken this as an entry. I was literally waiting for it. Stop there and I would have taken a 2R here. But right before the 9 a.m. kind of closed, the reverse lever, inverse in the city or basic. And then I was like, okay, that kind of doesn't, I've heard at this point, we are continuing the expansion lower from the heavy manipulation. Daily's first expansion actually before it doesn't, so I just have to wait. I gotta at this point wait for the driver to perform the narrative. And you see the 9-3 just expand lower, or no, it actually reverses higher. That's right. So I was so confused. So I was like, okay, well, this is not going. It's just not ideal. So we are within the key level still. So I do the driver. If it is going to go higher, then it does expand higher. But at this point, I still can't trade bullshit. There's a daily work size, so it doesn't matter. But and then you see because of the work size on the daily, you see 10 reverse there. And attack exponential or range higher eventually. So that's why you never trade data as large, even if the everything was 24 bullshit. On YM nodes, yeah, even with YM, the targets were just fucking unclean. So today the bias was unclean. So, but it's only Monday, Tuesday. There's no news. There's no FMC on Wednesday. I don't think. Do not think there is. Yeah, there's no news on Wednesday. So CPI on Thursday, but that's at 8:30. So that's fine. So I can trade Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I should be able to find trade. So although I should trade on Monday, Saturday, I didn't get that entry. Okay. No, then this video, huh? But considering that YM is still at around EQ this range, maybe let's do this low. While RTY is below, let's do this low. Very low. This is advanced pretty much just go. Ideally tomorrow reverse off pretty low. Make internal external as we are actually bearish. We need to see any phase breadth over here. But if tomorrow doesn't, then everything would have to spark daily for 130-minute expansion version. Yeah, so just because of the fact that price is extremely barrier, you have to do this low, but it won't stop you from pretty bearish. I'll just target the next one. So where this low line. YM should be showing trades, we can catch up. T or 2Y1 should kind of looks like it is. So we'll see what happens.